Hey, welcome into a very special editions of Up and Level Productions, talking with Furby. Your host, CI Warrior 81, aka Furby. Obviously, as you can tell with all the yeah, and the hats on. um, but this is a special editions of Talking with Furby where it's just me and you guys talking, chatting it up. So hit it on the comments, make it two to tango, and let's see what comes about. I just want to pretty much go over the show format. We'll go over some of the things that I don't get to talk about in the sports edition, mainly because of point spreads and how the gambling, the public fading, is moving. Um, don't like to go and gambling into those sports edition shows. That's just pure sports takes, and gambling shouldn't have anything to do. Although in this world, gambling has everything to do with everything. Um, I also want to go into my favorite topic, the Yankees and how some of the policies might be a little outdated, but at the same time, it's really working for them. And then last but not least, we'll go over Captain America, um, Brave New World that's coming out on February 14th. Something I'm very looking forward to is those who know me or know that I'm a geek for MCU, DCU, or DCEU. um, and all that Star Wars and all that fun geekdom. So I want to go into a little bit of that. So without further ado, let's get it started. Let's go into our Texas versus Kansas City. The Houston Texans, they're the 10-7 record, goes into Kansas City Arrowhead Stadium. They face the 15-2 Kansas City Chiefs. Now, 15-2 technically it comes with an asterisk because it's technically 15-1. They didn't play any of the starters, didn't really give much of an effort on that last game against Denver, which allowed Denver to get into the playoffs, which is another story, another time, which I don't really care about because it's my KC. Um, but this game is opening up right now at 8.5 point favorites for Kansas City Chiefs. Do I think Kansas City will cover this spread? No, I don't. As much of a fan I am of Kansas City, I do respect Texas defense, that pass rushing, and those two corners that they have on the ends. It's not gonna, but I do think Kansas City will find a way to get it through. Uh, think Mahomes, Kelsey, the additions of T.J. Hopkins, Hollywood Brown will help out the absence of Rashid Rice. The offensive line is what really scares me and what I make it feel like will make this game close as possible. Um, do I think Kansas City will the 8.5? No, I think the line, if you're gonna put a bet, do it as a teaser, and I would go 3.5, maybe 2.5, just to be on the safe side. It's not gonna be much of an odds there, but it'll at least guarantee you something besides 8.5. Um, our next game will be Detroit hosting the Commanders. The Washington Commanders at 12-5 will host the Detroit Lions at again 15-2. Detroit Lions very, very, very wild season. They had 13 players on their defense that are injured, unable to play, and they're still rolling. Which is surprising, and I'm really got to give them a lot of props and a lot of kudos. Their offense is rolling. I never doubted their offense. I liked their offense from 2 years ago when they first played the season opener against Kansas City and went in there and beat the crap out of Mahomes on Goff's return game from Kansas City. I'm sorry, not Goff wasn't a former Kansas City, but you know what I mean. It was a game that made a statement, and they actually told me that the Lions were here and they were serious. Um, Fast forward to now, where Golf and the team is just moving on, and that offense is really clicking. You got the two-headed monsters of running backs, Montgomery and Gibbs. Um, Amon St. Ra, Mike Williams, I believe. Um, is on that team, and it's just the touchdown monsters. However, one thing I did notice throughout the regular season, every time I saw a Lions game, um, was that they're great starters, and then by the time the third quarter comes, that's when they start doing their little snafus. That's when the fumbles start happening, interceptions start picking up, a lot of three and outs, and they don't pick it up until like the fourth quarter or how the game dictates it. Um, I've seen that a lot through this year on this Detroit Lions team. I don't know if it's because of stamina or what, but it is a concern. And I do think that the Washington Commanders do have that defense that can, bring it all together and just be like, you know what, let's do some upsets. So again, Detroit is at a 9.5 favorite, which I think is ludicrously high. That Washington defense is strong enough where it can keep the game close. So with this game, I would say if you would bring it down to a teaser, I would go for maybe 4, maybe 5 points, because I don't see this game being won more than 6 points. As good as that Lions offense is. Let us know. Let me know. What you guys think? Is it those are the number one seeds? Are those point spreads for the number one seed games way too high, or they just need to be brought down a little bit lower? Let us know in the comments. Let me know in the comments because I'm really interested in that. Moving on to the Sunday's games, we got LA Rams versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Now the LA Rams at 10-7 versus the Philadelphia Eagles, which is at 14-3. Eagles, I think they created drama this year just to create drama, just to make things interesting. From the beginning of the season with Nick Sirianni, really on the hot seat right off from the jump because of what happened last year, which was a monumental collapse, but at the same time, I mean, it does happen in the NFL. But with Sirianni this early in the season, fighting with the fans, which now in hindsight, I don't think he was fighting them. I think he was just like egging them on. He was being that Philadelphia, spirit, that brotherly love. Like it's a different type of love out there. So I really what's up? Like with that Sirianni thing. However, they persevered. Saquon Barkley had a wow year. Almost beating season the single season rushing record, which I don't know why that was a tongue twister for me. But Jalen Hurts was Hurts. I mean, he wasn't the Hurts that the year that they went to the Super Bowl, but he was the Hurts that you saw last year that was good during that 10 game winning streak that they had last year. So again, Eagles are a 6.5 favorite on this. Rams have a loaded offense with a rising star in Puka. And I think that this game again is 6.5 Philadelphia. I think this game is a field goal game, and I think it'll probably be a 24-21 type of win for Philadelphia. So if I would go bring it down, hit the 3 as a teaser, protect yourself in that gambling world. It's the safest bet for me, I would do. I'm just saying, and that's just me. But moving on to that night game, which is the ultimate game. It's the game of all games right now. It might be the game that probably best is the Super Bowl. Which you always usually get one game for some reason that's better than the actual Super Bowl game. Um, this might be it. Now, with a mere 1.5, meaning that to beat this to cover this, they got to win by just 2 points. Baltimore is favored against Buffalo. I think this is Vegas telling you this is a pick'em game. Buffalo at 13-4, hosting Baltimore at 12-5. Baltimore is rolling right now. They really figured it out, and I don't think that they will have that problem that they had last year where they forgot about the run game. Um, I think Lamar is really proven something. I don't think he gives a crap about the MVP. I think it's just about the ring or not. And if you guys remember on the sports edition when we were going over the wild card weekend, the Lamar coincidence with Baltimore Ravens where Flacco, who turned 28, won a Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer, who turned 28, won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. And Lamar this year is turning 28. Now, as a Chiefs fan, I'm worried about this game, but at the same time, I hope these guys beat each other up. Um, Whoever wins this game, in my eyes, will face the winner of the KC Texas game, which we all know is going to be KC. At least I'm being biased about it. But I do think Baltimore will win this game. I think it's going to be more than a field goal. So if you guys really want to really play around with things, you can bump up Baltimore a little bit too. I would take the plus -4. Um, I would take the -4 right now. It seems like it's a better bet. I do think that Baltimore's defense has gotten better. They're two teams that are really similar within each other. Both have a dynamic running quarterback and powerful running back. Dalvin Cook has really emerged as a very useful and resourceful running back, and they can kill both teams can kill you with the RPO. And it makes it harder for defenses to scheme against that because you're trying to defend the run, defend the pass, or defend the option. And both teams are very deadly and very similar in styles about that. So again, I do hope that they both beat each other out, beat each other up, so that when they head over to Arrowhead, it's going to be a smooth sailing for the Chiefs. But the real big game of the weekend, and it's going to be on Martin Luther King's Day, January 20, is the national championship of the NCAA football. Now, this is the first year of the 12-team playoff system. My take on this, and I'm going to just give it really quick, my take on this is that 12 teams was great. I think it was awesome. I think they do need to revisit the whole number one seeds having the bye. However, I don't know how you can fix that because at the end of the day, you should strive to have a bye in this tournament. But however, this tournament has shown that momentum, and like all sports, momentum is you're as good as your momentum is. Um, Momentum is that person that can be on one sideline and then eke its way to the next sideline. They play both teams. They play blindly. So momentum is one of those things, and I think both teams have shown momentum was everything in this tournament. So Ohio State going through a rigorous team, but even though I think Texas, Texas was a very overrated team. Um, but kudos, Ohio State beat them convincingly. I feel. Notre Dame. Now Notre Dame. Now I grew up being a Notre Dame fan. When you're in New York and you don't really have that many college football teams, and Notre Dame was on national TV at Channel NBC for so many years with that national contract. You tendency to grow up to be a Notre Dame fan when you're from New York, unless you went to an actual college in the New York State or in tri-state. You really was rooting for Notre Dame. Um, I hate to tell you guys that. And right now, Notre Dame is an underdog with Ohio State being an 8.5 favorite. Do I think this is rational? Yes. Um, I'm rooting for Notre Dame, and I do hope that they pull the upset. Where I'm putting my money on right now is that Notre Dame covers the 8.5. Now, right now, the over-under of this game is 46.5. But personally, I know a lot of people want to go for the under because Notre Dame will play you tough. Ohio State will play you tough, and there's two good defenses. However, I think this is going to be one of those games where it's going to be a ground and pound, and we're going to get some points in this game. And I think it's safe enough to say that the over 46.5 points might be a safer bet. I think public betting right now is going towards the under, which scares me because I think it's majority. Like I think it's in the percentage is around 70 to 75% going for the under. So when I hear things like that, scares me a little bit, and I think I would go for the over on this one. Just to see how the way the public is. Every once in a while, there's a time where Vegas tries to get their money back in any um, situation. And I think this over under, the fact that it's at 46, I thought Vegas was really going to try to be slick and try to go for the 42 or 43. But 46 and a half seems about right. And it seems like it's the back door. Seems like it's a back door for you. But I really do think that Notre Dame can pull this out. I think my heart is telling me Notre Dame is going to win this outright. But my brain is telling me the safer bet is to take Notre Dame to cover the 8.5 points. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think. I think this is going to be a great game either way. I don't think this is going to be a blowout by no stretch of the imagination. And I think we're going to have a lot of good fun. This is going to be a fun football wise weekend for all sports fans. Um, with that being said, we're moving into my favorite time of the year. In 2 more months, I'll be hearing the word spring training. And I'm a big Yankee fan, so I'm going to unabashedly, unapologize, root for my Yankees team. And here's a little couple things that we, as Yankee fans, fight a lot. Uh, is this fair or foul? To have your name on the back of the Yankee jersey, even as a fan, a replica jersey, is that fair or is that foul? Is that fraud, as some might say? Now, particularly, while many NBA, MLB teams embraced the trends of adding player names in the 1960s, Yankees held firm, believing the team name on the front mattered more than individual recognition on the back. I always agree with that. The team in the front matters more than the team in the back. And I really feel like that throughout all sports. However, when you're a fan and you're paying all this money to buy these jerseys, which I tell you, a Yankee jersey, cheapest is $100 if you want a real authentic jersey. However, yes, I do agree with some fans, because I don't think it's a majority anymore, but I do agree with some fans that an authentic Yankee jersey is without the name on the. Now, me, I'm a poor guy. I mean, come on now. I'm a poor guy. I grew up in the hood, and I get what I can get. And I'll be 100% honest. The Yankee jersey that I have and own has Jeter's name on the back. It's one of my favorite players growing up. Um, I mean, yeah, it's the number two, and everybody knows the number two with the Yankee jersey signifies Jeter, and you don't really have to have his name on the back. But at $125, which is what I could afford at the time, and compared to 190 for an authentic no name on the back, I went for the Jeter. And as long as I'm representing my team, and again, 9 out of 10 times when I'm at a Yankee game, it's during the early spring months where it's cold, so I have a jacket on anyway, so you don't see what's on the back. So there's a little trickery here and there, but yeah, does it make me a fraud fan? I hate to admit this, and I hate to bash myself, but yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna call my jersey an authentic jersey. I'm not gonna go that far and disrespect myself for that, and calling myself out for that, and leaving me open for scrutiny. But am I gonna say if you have a jersey that has a name on the back, is it wrong? You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. But just know you can't call it an authentic jersey. I'm in the same boat, but you just can't call it an authentic jersey. Sorry, it's just that's not happening. Um, but another thing that brings me up to another topic with the Yankees. Now, as you can see, my nickname right now is Furby because I'm a furry motherfucker. And like I got my beard, which I barely trim. I got hair, which I barely take care of. And I'm balding at the same time, so it's just pretty crazy that I'm just don't take care of my hair. Wear a lot of hats, but it did lead me to a point where the Yankees have a facial policies that started since the '70s, when George Steinbrenner first started on the team, where he got tired of long hair, facial hair, and he was like, you know what? He made a rule: no more beards. No, you can have a mustache, but your sideburns can't come below your ears. No mutton chops, which Mattingly, Donnie Baseball, kind of thread the needles on that. But definitely no other full facial hair. Your hair must be short, neat, and kept. So way the players this day and age, how they got kind of circumvented it, was to leave the side cut. It's in the military type of fashion, or those who have long hair, like those who are African Americans with long hair, like instead of having a afro, they'll just braid it or dread it up and put a stocking cap over where it appears that it's short. Um, is this fair in 2025? Is the true question. And honestly, you have a choice. You have a choice to play for the Yankees or not. And when you go and play for a team like the Yankees, you're going for the mystique, the 27 championships, the tradition of the team. Now, granted, this tradition is from the '70s and not from the full aspects of the Yankees universe. This is more of a Steinbrenner. Hey, this at the time the Yankees were a laughing stock. They were just sold by CBS because CBS couldn't even fix them, and they were drafting good, but they were just pretty horrible. Um, Steinbrenner came in and was like, "Yo, we're not going to be the laughing stock of the major leagues anymore, and we're not doing that." So I'm implementing some basic rules and policies, and this was one of them. So honestly, it doesn't matter. Honestly, if you're a free agent and you don't want to come here because you don't want to shave your head or do anything similar to that, go stay somewhere else. I mean, at the end of the day, you have a choice. Same way that the Yankees have a choice to keep this policy. At the end of the day, I had a full-time job where I was working and slaving and busting my butt and doing all these crazy things, losing my mind, and then not able to do my passion. I had a choice. Do I want to do my passion, or do I keep doing and slaving for the other? Well, as I'm talking to you right now, we know where my choice went. So I'm doing this passion project, and this is mainly for me, but also for you. So it's for us. And again, I had a choice. Eh, I could have said no, stick with what you're doing. It's a more safer bet. It's a more secure bet, but I try to do my dreams. And sometimes when you try to follow your dreams, you just have to go beyond the safe route. And Captain America: Brave New World comes out in theaters on February 14th, and I can't wait. It's one of those movies that I've been anxiously waiting for, mainly because I know you guys because of Red Hope, but me because it's just MCU content, and I just wait for MCU content. Um, Big disappointment with What If, but I thought it was okay for what it was. Um, but Captain America, we're talking about movies. We're talking about getting into a good storyline, and what I'm assuming is going to be in the likes of Winter Soldier, which to me is, besides Endgame, is the number one MCU movie out there. Winter Soldier, Captain America, hands down. Um, this is being led by an all-star cast of Harrison Ford, Anthony Mackie, Tim Blake Nelson, Giancarlo Esposito, amazing actor. Seth Rollins even gets in the game of this, which is surprising me. Liv Taylor makes her MCU return. Rosa Salazar comes involved. This is gonna be amazing. This movie, I can't wait. I think it's gonna be knock your socks off. And you know what? I can't wait to talk to her with you guys. And I just, the reason why I bring this up is because even with the all star cast that we had, Um, as you MCU, pretty much more Disney Plus. Disney has been getting a lot of flack, and I'm want to touch a little bit on this. Disney is being accused, and sometimes rightfully so, a little bit too much on this whole woke agenda. I'm all right. So obviously, no matter what I say, it's gonna seem biased. One, because I'm of a minority, so it's like you're gonna automatically say, "Oh, well, you're a minority, you're benefiting from this, or whatever." Yada yada yada. All I need to really just get out there right now, and really want to make sure that everybody understands is shut the fuck up. If a company wants to do a certain thing, let them do it. And if it's trying to bring out light to actors and talent that never had gotten shine or chances, shut the fuck up. Like, honestly, shut the fuck up. As long as it doesn't affect the storyline. Now, where I get annoyed with Disney is that they take this woke agenda and then they infuse it into the storyline and then throws the storylines off. Now, if you change a character from a male to a female, I don't really care about that. If you change it from a black person or a Spanish person, who really cares? It's a character. It's a fictional character anyway. So like, who really gives a crap? But if you change the storyline to fit the needs of this agenda, then you're pissing me off. If you change where the story doesn't make sense and it hurts the way that the story comes out, then we got problems. That's when I say the agenda is hurting me. Disney at times does do this. I'm not gonna even give the names of the times where they have done it because we'll be here all, forever and ever. And then there's times where they've been wrongly accused of it. I think the acolyte there is one of those situations where they're being wrongly accused for it. However, again, this is all my opinion. Um, and I am really annoyed by the fact that the acolyte was canceled, or I'm hearing rumors that they're bringing it back. But just the thought that they canceled it, and why they canceled it, because there was a black female as a lead. One, y'all people need to get off your high horses. Really get off your high horses. One, because it's a fictional character. What's the got to do with a person's color? Got to do with the person's if it's a female or a male. Gives a fuck. And honestly, like, come on now. The story was good, and it set it up, and it set up the story, especially the season finale, set up the Plagueis. And I'm a huge fan of Dark Plagueis. I read the book, heard the audiobook 4 times. This is one of my greatest stories. That and Lords of the Sith. If you haven't read that book, I highly recommend that. Um, those stories were epic. If you could give me a Dark Plagueis movie, make that canon and make that book, give me a good, true adaptation of that book into the, oh my God, I guarantee you it will be a blockbuster hit. I guarantee you it'll be Oscar worthy because there's so many dramatic effects and so many dramatic themes that happen in that book that I think Star Wars will embrace and would be able to take and further the storyline. And I'll be the first one to admit, I'm one of those that said Last Jedi was a masterpiece. Well, not a masterpiece, but was really great and caught a lot of backlash. And I kind of understand why, but I thought it was what was needed for the story to expand. I was tired of the rehashing of the storyline. That's why episode 9 was so horrible, and I'm not even going to name it by its title because it's so crap. Um, it's a rehash. It was a rehash, and I wasn't looking forward to that. I didn't want that. I wanted something that would expand the universe. Mandalorian tried to do it, and they were kind of handcuffed at the same time because they had to stick within between the films and then the sequels. And that can handcuff a story, but they were able to do it. They were able to give you a fine, cool story. Again, at the end of the day, you need the story. A director's job is to tell a good story. Where are we losing this? Tell a story. Forget the agendas. Forget the only agenda that should be worried about is the character and the story itself. Why can we not get that through our head? That's all I got to say about that. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know, how is the woke agenda really hurting us? Is it really supporting us? Do companies that do these woke agendas or being accused of doing these woke agendas, are they hurting their brand? Or are they increasing their brand? Like, let me know. Am I off base on this? Like, one thing I do have and is an opinion, but my opinion is never concrete. I do reserve the right to change my opinion because as you get older or as a day or the minute goes by, you get new information, you get new sources, you see the other side of things. And yes, I can change my mind. I have no problem changing minds. Um, Changing minds on different topics. So if it happens, it happens. And if you want to call me a hypocrite, yeah, go fuck off. I don't care. Still going to be my opinion either way. So, but let me know what your opinion is. Let's have that back and forth in the comment section. Let's do this. Um, but this concludes our special talking with Furby. I hope to do this again. Hopefully, we can do this every week. Stay tuned for some of his shameful plugs. Stay tuned for sports editions with the Brooklyn Boys on Wednesdays, 6 p.m., sometimes 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have the Not Your Gatekeepers coming back next Tuesday, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Possibly. We're looking to lock in the 6 p.m. time slot, um, Eastern Standard Time, of course, on Tuesday, the 21st. So it's a lot of good topics we're going to be covering. We're going to be covering things like this, the Stay Woke agenda. And I'm sure the host is going to have some things to say about what I just said. And I'm sure Sports Edition is going to have some things to say what I had said. Um, but if you like what we're doing here in Upper Level, please let us know. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, comment on some of these videos. Let us know. Show your support. Remember, I always want to say, we always complain about how communities never show support to each other, but then when there's opportunities comes for you to show that support, you never do. And then you wonder why communities don't show support anymore. Let's turn things over. Let's get things back to where they should be. And again, this is Ferbito signing off. You can always catch me at CI Warrior 81. Peace and stay up.